Hello, this is Professor Santiago, and today we're going to talk about real numbers and their properties, one of many videos. If you have questions on this and other videos, please contact me at john at e-liteworks.com or visit my website at freedomuniversity.tv where you can find this and other videos as well. We want to study real numbers, and the objectives are to find the additive inverse or opposite of a number, and then find the absolute value of a number. Let's take up some examples. Let's start off with the example associated with temperatures and integers, in which we have 15 degrees below zero. Here in centigrade, let's say, it's 15 degrees below zero. Our zero is our reference point, so anything below is a negative, anything above is a positive. 15 degrees with 0 as a reference right here is associated right here. 15 degrees above 0 in terms of centigrade. Other quantities, we can think of sea level, minus 10 feet below sea level, and a loss of $1 million. So let's find the additive inverse or opposites associated with a real number line. In our real number line, we have our reference 0, and our positive numbers are toward the right, and our negative numbers are toward the left. We also think of the minus sign as subtraction, sometimes associated as just a negative number by itself. And also in this case, for our example, we're going to see it as an additive inverse. So the additive inverse is the opposite of any number. So if A is minus A, so let's take for example 8. Its additive inverse is minus 8. The additive inverse of minus 3 is 3. So that's opposite. So negative 3 and 3 are opposites to each other. Finding the absolute value of a number. The absolute value of a number n is just a distance from 0 and is denoted by these two straight lines, and in between these two straight lines, vertical lines, is a n, and that's what we mean by an absolute value symbol. So to evaluate this symbol, what it means that if the number is positive, is just simply the number n. Again, if it's positive, denoted by this inequality, then it's just n. However, if it's negative, if a number is negative, negative 3, we add a minus sign in front of it, and then it becomes a positive. You can think of the absolute value as just a distance in one dimension. So distance is always an absolute positive number. So if it's negative, let's say like negative 4, then the distance from a reference point 0 is 4. So the absolute value of a negative number is always positive. The absolute value of a positive number is positive, and therefore the absolute value of 0 is just 0 since it has no distance, and 0 is the reference point. Let's look at some more examples. Find the absolute values of the following integers. Negative 8, the absolute value of negative 8 is just 8. The absolute value of 7 is just 7. 0, as we mentioned before, is just 0. The absolute value of 0 is equal to 0. Now this one, it has a negative 3 here, and the absolute value, so that's 3. But in front of this absolute value sign is a negative, so the answer is negative 3. Absolute value also works with fractions. So in this case, the absolute value of negative 3/7 is just 3/7. A decimal of negative 4.1 is just 4.1. The absolute value of 2.1 is simply 2.1. And finally, the absolute value of negative 2.5 is simply 2 1/2. Hopefully these examples illustrate the concept of absolute value, which is basically a distance measurement in the number line. If you have questions on this video, please contact me at john@e-eliteworks.com or john@eliteworks.com, or visit freedomuniversity.tv if you'd like to see more examples of this type of topic in algebra or other videos as well.